to give me this opportunity to share with you. The title of my presentation is Ethics in AI, from early ones to modern Arabic Islamic scholars. So when we started weeks ago before Ramadan, the question for me was, how can I help? How can I be involved? Coming from a more technological point of view. So I thought that if I have to read some articles, because, well, when you Google, you find that many articles to read and to summarize about the topic. So I said it's nice if I can, from my experience, have some papers about technological point of view, but also, as you can see here, from the you have the philosophical point of view. I'm out of this scope, but about Islamic scholars, you find that much. But I thought that maybe I can read those that are written in Arabic. Maybe some others are not able, but I can read those written in Arabic and share it with the community. So pretty much my presentation will be split in two parts. I will start with the technological point of view and then give you some summaries about what Arabic Islamic scholars have written about the topic. So starting from the technological point of view, I will start what has been done very early, historically speaking, about AI, about ethics in AI, and then talk about what I consider two main reference in AI. One of them is a very known book, known AI Modern Approach, and one index report supposed to be one of the annual reports that the international community relies on, because it gives you a broad coverage about all what's going on in the field. So the very first one that started talking about ethics is someone called Isaac Asimov, who used to be a science fiction writer, who introduced what is called the three laws of robotics. And you can see that the three laws are as follows: these robots are to be designed and developed, but not to harm humans. They have to obey to orders, and they have them to protect themselves. Later on in the 50s, Asimov realized that these three laws are not enough, but should be adapted according to the scenario in hand. So far, after that, in 2017, experts gathered at the Beneficial AI Conference to develop AI ethics. And this is what the story started, how to set the AI ethics in general. And since then, not from the scholar academic point of view, but now with the rise of science fiction movies, among others, of course. So the interest about AI ethics has increasingly reflected the AI ethical concerns about everyone around the world. Yeah, so this is the Beneficial AI Conference. So the next one is 2024. Or already happened, or in Panama City. So you can Google, you can find it, and you can see that you have a list of different keynote speakers, and you can have a list of what's going on. Now, concerning the one of the most known book among the more technical people developing AI and data science. So there is a book called AI, and it's among the very rare book that considers also the ethics, not only the technology, the development, etc., the coding part. So you can see that this book lists 12 principles, starting from the privacy of data, the safety, the how to limit the harmful uses of AI, etc. So it ends with these 12 principles. And we are going to have time to see these principles all together, but pretty much all what the Western vision is about it is, I forget to say, why I did this. We are talking about Islamic ethics. So for me, I wanted to ended up to have a sort of reference of principles to be compared to. And at the end, the reading of here is to have a sort of guidelines for Islamic principles of AI ethics and to compare them with this Western point of view. I think it is important. All right. So the AI Index, Stanford AI Index, there is a group at the Stanford University that have started years ago about this artificial index report, and it is divided into different chapters. Many of them are purely technical, but one of these chapters is, of course, the AI ethics. They reported, for instance, that in 2021, 260 incidents and controversies were reported about the use of AI. I mean, we have some statistics, and this is important to mention. And of course, the problem has got more critical because of the use of generative AI, because we have this sort of hallucination, etc. And in general, the interest in AI ethics continues to skyrocket. We have another conference called FACT, which is the Conference on Fairness, Accountability, and Transparency, where the number of papers increased by a factor of 10 since 2018. In this report, they have they considered 4 main areas where the ethics of AI should be important: the privacy of data and the governance, transparency and explainability, security and safety, and then fairness. What I did, I combined these key areas from the index report and put these principles from AIMA, from the book, where you can see these principles are spread over these key areas or categories of ethics. So pretty much we're talking about the same thing with different namings. Talk about security, for instance, when they talk about ensure safety, it's part of security and safety. When we talk about limit harmful uses of AI, we talk about security. So these different 12 principles could be spread over these 4 principles. I also Googled, sorry, I used Perplexity about the AI ethics, and it gives me key categories or 9 key areas, and pretty much they are almost the same. We have to go inside to see the details because probably they might be the same but using different namings, but pretty much we converge about this list of, let's say, between 5 to 10 principles in AI ethics from the Western point of view. So that's the point of view from the Western side about the references of AI. Now, concerning the Islamic scholars, I simply Googled to find what has been done, and I found these 5 interesting references, but I could say that for me the 5th one, that's why I put it in the 5th position, was the most interesting one. I'm going to explain later why. So the very first one, this first one I could simply get rid of it, but I didn't, because I put it in the document, Google document, so I wanted to respect exactly what I have put there. The title was very interesting for me, but then I found out that it was more philosophical paper, and to be honest, I was not able to read and understand. So maybe I can simply point to one of you that can understand. From my technological point of view, I was not able to read and understand what's there. The next one was also about is artificial intelligence qualified to issue a fatwa? I'm putting here which direction. I think our colleague Boumediene talked about this direction, whether we are using AI for Islam or are we using Islam for AI. So this one is more the development of AI techniques to be used for to do something about Islam. So it's more a news article, and I found that there is nothing interesting from my point of view. So we don't learn that much in anything new. This one is interesting, named Artificial Intelligence Ethics Concepts. I mean, the original one, of course, was in Arabic. So I found that there is a center in Qatar named Center Research Center for Islamic Legislation and Ethics in Qatar. It's a series of articles in Arabic about the Islamic ethics and AI. And the author, Mohammed Ghali, teaches, and I do remember during our one of our discussions on WhatsApp was, can we teach Islam and AI? So I found out that this guy already teaches Islamic ethics and AI in this center within a master program called Islamic Applied Ethics. What does he say in this article? Not that much, but for me, what was the most interesting is these two sentences. For him, the AI revolution, it is unlike anything humans have even known before. So even if we have witnessed many other revolutions in the past, industrial, I don't know, etc., but it is that this one is unlike anything else we have seen before. And he also said that some contemporary philosophers believe that AI may be the last human achievement, and as it will remove the human race from the leadership position in this life to begin the post-human stage or post-humanism. There are many other activities at that center and articles, and they are interested to be discovered, and also suggest to our network to get in touch with that researcher, Mohammed Ghali. We can involve him. I think his thoughts might be interesting for us to be discussed. The next paper is Religion in the Age of AI. It's more AI for Islam. It talks mainly about the use of robotics and how they can teach religions. So there are many of them. I can mention 3 of them. So for instance, in Japan, they developed the Mindar robot to motivate visitors to become interested in Buddhist teachings. In Germany also, they developed one that is called Bless You Too, that speaks 5 languages, etc. So you have the list. If you go back to the article or the paper, a list of articles are listed there. And what is interesting is that some predict that the emergence of new religions with AI, such as this professor named MacArthur in his article Gods in the Machine, and this professor expressed his concern that some users may view robots as higher beings, especially that some capabilities of robots are higher than those of humans. In addition, what is interesting from this book is that these religious readers are more occupied, from the Islam for AI and not AI for Islam. With the idea of controlling AI, given that everything a person does must be under his control and not outside of it. And these limits should be set for AI that respect the moral and ethical aspects of humans. And what they did, this is what the Vatican sought in Rome called in 2020. Then representatives of these 3 religions participated in a meeting at the Rome Summit in 2023 and proposed 5 ethical principles that all AI designers must adhere to. And you have these 5 principles: explainability, comprehensiveness, repeatability, unbiased programs, and humans always bear responsibility. So it's interesting to see when you combine our religion with others, how they are shrinked, and we don't have that much common principles to share, because we are going to see later on that in Islam we have much more principles when you compare them with the others. So the 5th one, I'm going to end with this one, which is named The Legal Rules Governing AI Technologies. It's more Islam for AI, and it is a paper in a conference proceeding. The proceeding is full of many papers talking about the AI, but most of them are more AI for Islam. So the objective of this paper is to find the most important aims of Sharia and legal maxims, rules that should be relied upon in the field of AI. So we do know in Islamic legislation, we have what we call maqasid Sharia, qawaid fiqhiyya wal qawaid maqasidiyya, aims of Sharia and legal maxims. This is, I used to talked to one imam who mastered both languages, and he told me that aims of Sharia means al-maqasidiyya, and legal maxims are the qawa'id fiqhiyya. And the author of this paper go through a list of these aims of Sharia and legal maxims, and studies how they could be applied in the context. Are they good for AI, and how they could be applied? To give you, I mean, the definition he gives in his paper as follow. So aims of Sharia, or al-maqasid, al-qawa'id al-maqasidiyya, is something that is comprehensive. It's a general issue that expresses a general meaning derived from various Sharia evidence. It's a kind of guiding and framing rule. While the legal maxims, or al-qawa'id al-fiqhiyya, they are also comprehensive, but they are more practical than guiding. They are more practical and not theoretical ones. And mainly it try to find who is responsible about a given fact, a given problem. So these are, we use both of them in Islam, and in the case of AI, they both apply. So he mentioned 5 for each one of them. 5 for قواعد مقاصدية. The first one, we have 2 rules about the means, or الوسائل. The second category is reconciliation, or istislah. And these are my Google translation. So beg me pardon if the translation is good, but I didn't have time to go to see other persons that are more familiar with the English translation. You have al-muwazanat, or balancing, and you have i'tibar al-ma'al, and considering consequences. For the legal maxims, you have also 5. And I think most of us are a bit familiar with these 5 very general قواعد فقهية, legal maxims. الأمور بمقاصدها, what is translated with matters according to the objectives. المشقة تجلب التيسير, hardship brings facilitation. اليقين لا يزول بالشك, certainty is not removed by doubt. لا ضرر ولا ضرار, no harm shall be reciprocated. And finally, العادة محكمة, and custom is authoritative. I consider that I have only 20 minutes, so we don't have time to go to explain all of them. So what I did, I took only one of each category, and we can start discussion from there. So if you see it is interesting, of course, I can, in a later presentation, I can go and explain all the 5, etc. But this is just to give you an idea. So the first one is about means, or al-wasa'il. So the rule means, or says, the means have the same ruling as the aims. Al-wasa'il, I don't remember what it says in Arabic, but yeah. So the role of this rule in AI, what does it say? What do we learn? If the work in AI aims to achieve recognized legitimate objectives, such as helping a person to perform his tasks and actions in the fastest time and with dedicated precision without fatigue or boredom, then all means leading to it are also considered required if it is not stipulated or agreed upon that they are prohibited. And he gives 2 examples how this rule could be explained. Two examples or 2 applications. So for instance, if the use of the intelligent machine is a means of serving a person and facilitating the work, especially those that save humans, such as smart devices, medical devices, then it is permitted by Sharia according to the ruling on the purpose leading to it. The second example of application, it is permissible to design intelligent robots in the form of human being or animate animal if there is a need to use them in difficult, dangerous, or delicate tasks, such as searching for mines or delicate surgical operations and the like, and there is no alternative to them. Even if some Islamic scholars consider building robots, it's like creating something that looks like human, and it is forbidden. While here, because of this rule, it is then possible to do it. An example of the legal maxims now, I'm taking the first category, which says the matters according to the objectives. So the rule says the legal ruling by which the actions of the responsible person are judged are essentially due to the purpose and intention of this responsible person for this act. This is a complete different point of view when you compare it with the Western, because in the Western point of view, we don't talk at all about the intention of the person. While here in Islam, we do talk about the intention, and it is important then. So one application, for instance, it is not permissible to use AI techniques if their use is for forbidden purposes and objectives such as devices for faking, lying, spying on people without their permission. We can have other examples, etc. I would like also to, when discussing with that imam from the mosque where I pray in London, to explain some of the principles that were mentioned in the paper. He told me that he's got a PhD in, I don't remember which university, but his field is exactly these rules and these maxims. And this is the book he published as part of his PhD work. And he also told me he is happy if we are in need to understand in all details these legal maxims and Sharia, etc. He can come join us if you want some presentation from him to understand all these قواعد فقهية and قواعد المقاصدية. If you remember at the very beginning, I told you that maybe a comparison is of these different ethics. So you see here, that's the technological point of view. These are from the Rome call between the different religions, and these come from the 10 qawaid and legal maxims and Sharia rules. And you see that here, what the Rome call, this one, explainability, is also mentioned here. Fairness, and it's almost the same as unbiased. Responsibility and accountability is almost the same, etc. So you can see that all what the Rome Code says is already part of the technological point of view, while here from the Islamic point of view, I don't see much matching between what exists. I'm giving one example I took. This is the use case just to see how things. So suppose we are developing an AI system to spy and track murders, bad people. From the Western ethics, this is not respected. We don't respect the rule, respect privacy, even if these people are bad. But because we have to respect the privacy, so this program should not be developed. While in Islamic ethics, it is possible because the rule flexible means, but not the aims, is there. So this kind of program could be developed. A second case, if we talk, for instance, about developing sexual robots, the Western ethics, it says yes, it does not harm any rule or respects, let's say, diversity, while in the Islamic ethics, it is not possible because of the reconciliation rule. It is not possible to use some means. I don't know how to translate, but some of you may help me. تجلب المفاسد أكثر من المنفعة. I'm sorry, I'm not able to translate this in English. So yes, pretty much this is my presentation. I would like to thank you, and yeah, thank you.
So do you want to have questions? Do you have